Alright, so we're back, and as we are reading, as discussed before, we really trying to identify um, one of these four things, and for part A of the question, we know that that is unknown. So somewhere in the information we must find selling price, variable cost, and fixed cost, and remember there may be more than one of each. There definitely will probably be more than one variable cost and definitely more than one fixed cost. Alright, so as reading the scenario, we're just identifying those things. So this is created concerts, and they give us a lot of information. They're very eager to come to Cape Town, and then it says the Biebs fee. Justin Bieber's come to Cape Town, and his fee requirements are rather demanding and will have to be incorporated along with all other costs in the selling price of the tickets. They requires a flat fee of $640 plus 8% of gross ticket revenue. So now at this point, with this information, you're basically just asking yourself, okay, so where does this fit into these things that I need? Alright, so let's talk about it. The flat fee is a fixed cost, and why do I say that's a fixed cost? It's because it does not depend on in this case it's a concert, so the sale driver would be the number of people that attend the concert. So in other words, Justin Bieber will require this fee whether one person comes to the concert or thousands of people come to the concert. So that $640,000 is going to be a fixed cost, and because it's in dollars and we're in South Africa, we're going to have to apply the exchange rate, but just know for now that it's a fixed cost. Then there's 8% of gross ticket revenue. So this 8% will be, if one ticket is sold, will be 8% times one ticket. If 10,000 tickets is sold, it's 8% times 10,000 tickets. So this 8% will be a variable cost. Alright, so it's words, but from these words I take out what the fixed cost is going to be and what the variable cost is going to be. Alright, then in the next paragraph they talk, in addition to the artist demands, various other costs need to be taken into account. Take the Cape Town management have agreed to a fee of $65,000 for the rental of the stadium. That $65,000 will need to be paid whether one person attends or thousands of people attend. So this $65,000 is also a fixed cost. Then an estimated total cost of $150 is anticipated for setup of the stage and audience barriers, and a fee of $162,500 has been negotiated. Okay, so this $157,500 is also a fixed cost because again it's not dependent on how many people attend. This $162,500 that's been negotiated with ADT security is also a fixed cost because again it's not dependent on how many people attend. And then lighting and sound are estimated to be approximately $255,000. Again, it's not dependent on how many people is going to attend. So all of this cost is actually fixed cost. So all the costs in this paragraph is fixed costs. Alright, then being one of the first production, Crazy Concerts aims to make it a memorable experience for the audience. To allow for this, it was suggested that each ticket holder be issued a set of kaleidoscope glasses as they entered the stadium. The team readily agreed to this idea and priced these glasses at $25 each. So very important, this $25 will not be paid by the people attending, it's paid by the company. So it's not a revenue for the company, it's a cost for the company. And which type of cost is, well, it's gonna be well, it depends. Now this is the selling point, sorry, the crucial point over here. It says that as by special arrangement or display, any excess stock on hand could be returned. In other words, they may buy 10,000 glasses, but if only 5,000 people attend, they can give the 5,000 back to the supplier and only pay the supplier for the 5,000 that was actually given to the attendees. So therefore you can see that this glasses is driven by the number of attendees, and therefore this is also a variable cost. However, if for some we could not return the unused glasses, then those glasses would effectively become a fixed cost, because if one person attended, they still had to spend the money for the upfront glasses upfront. So in that case, the money spent on the glasses is not dependent on how many attend, and therefore it would have been a fixed cost. But because of the sentence, very important, that we can return any excess stock, therefore the classes becomes a variable cost. Alright, and then lastly, like most event management companies, Crazy Cons has decided to sell the tickets to CompuTicket, who will charge a commission of 2% of the ticket price. Now, likewise to Justin Bieber's fee, 8% will go to Justin Bieber. It's just a different party. Justin Bieber is 8%, Crazy CompuTicket is 2%. In both cases, it's a cost, and in both cases, it's a variable cost because it's dependent on the ticket price, which is driven by the number of people attending. So this 2% is also equal to a variable cost. And then lastly, a ticket price per ticket has not been finalized. However, market sale is unpopular. Male artists have indicated people are willing to pay on average 500 rand. So that is our selling price. Alright, so we're going to end the video here for now. And when we come back, we will just populate what we've already found. Alright, cheers.